Enuanom Aconecrapa. You are welcome to the 4th episode of the Learn Akan Idiom series. Coming right up. What's up, guys? So today's episode was supposed to have 7 Twi idioms, just like last week, just like intended last week. So I made a mistake with last week's video. So I filmed 7 Twi idioms in that episode, but I ended up editing 6. Actually, I cut out one of the idioms from the video. So the video ended up with 6 idioms instead of the 7 that I filmed. And I'm very sorry about that. So to make it up to you, instead of 7 Twi idioms for this week's episode, we are actually having 8. Okay, 8, which includes what I cut out last week. So let's begin with that. Let's begin with what I cut out last week. And that is nano ato. Nano ato. Nano ato. Nano ato. So you must be familiar with the apostrophe by now if you've been following, this series. So we said the apostrophe is the third person singular possessive adjective, okay, which originally is ne, okay, ne, but changes to apostrophe when the name of the possessed entity or the possessed object begins with the letter A, okay, the letter A. So as you can see, after the apostrophe we have ano, 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 okay, ano, and ano begins with the letter A, right? So that's why ne changes to apostrophe, okay? And ano is the mouth, okay? Ano, the mouth. So nano would be his or her mouth, okay? His or her mouth. And then we have to, and again, if you've been following this series, you know to is to settle. You remember? To settle or to land, okay? To settle, to land, to fall. So ato has settled or has landed, right? So in all, literally, nano ato would mean his or her mouth has landed or has settled. Okay, his or her mouth has landed or settled. And this is your literal meaning, but figuratively, this means he or she has finished speaking. Okay, he's done speaking. Nano ato. Okay, nano ato. Okay, so let's look at some usage examples here. And for the first one, we have mano ato. Mano ato. Mano ato. Mano ato. Okay, mano ato. And then we have ohimano ano ato. Ohimano ano ato. Ohimano ano ato. Ohimano ano ato. Then we have oheneno ano ato. Oheneno ano ato. Oheneno ano ato. Okay, so this ends last week's episode. So now let's get to this week's episode, and we have neni ewu. Neni ewu. Neni ewu. Neni ewu. So again, we have the apostrophe, the third person possessive adjective, his or her, okay? And then we have eni, and eni is the eye or the eyes. Okay, we don't have a plural form, it's the same thing. The eye or the eyes. Okay, so neni would be his or her eye or his or her eyes. Okay, and then we have wu. Wu, and wu is to die. Okay, so the verb to die is wu. Okay, so when we say ewu, the a in front of wu is your perfect aspect marker, which means it's complete. The action of dying is complete. Okay, so in all, literally, neni ewu would mean his or her eyes have died. Okay, his or her eyes have died. All right, his eyes are dead or her eyes are dead. And this figuratively means that he or she is ashamed or embarrassed. Okay, so when you are ashamed, your eyes die. For us, okay, your eyes die, so he or she is ashamed or embarrassed. Neni ewu. Neni ewu. Neni ewu. Now to some usage examples. The first one is meni ewu. Meni ewu. Meni ewu. Okay, meni ewu. And then we have meni ewu ama wo. Meni ewu ama wo. Okay, meni ewu ama wo. Meni ewu ama wo. Meni ewu ama wo. Meni ewu ama wo. And then for the last example, we have ohimano eni ewu. Ohimano eni ewu. Ohimano eni ewu. Okay, to the next idiom, and we have te ne to. Te ne to. Teneto. 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 Okay, teneto. So we have te, which means to tear. Okay, to tear something. So to tear something apart. Te, to tear. And then we have ne. Ne, which again is your third person singular possessive adjective, his or her. Okay, which means that whichever word is coming next refers to something that belongs to whomever this ne is referring to. Okay, so the word that comes next is to. 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 And to is from a tour. Okay, the full word is a tour, and a tour is the butt. Okay, the butt. That's how you say it, right? The butt. Yeah, so that's to. To. So we have te neto, literally meaning tear his or her butt. Okay, to tear his or her butt. And this figuratively means to expose someone. So teneto means expose him or her. Okay, expose him or her. Teneto. 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 So when you tear somebody's butt, you have exposed him or her. Yeah, it makes sense, right? Yeah. Teneto. So to some usage examples, and we have mete woto. Mete woto. Mete woto. Mete woto. Mete woto. And then we have wate neto. Wate neto. Wate neto. Wate neto. And for the last example, we have adena wote meto. Adena wote meto. Adena wote meto. Okay. Adena wote meto. Okay. On to the next idiom, and we have Nasiyadining. 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 Although in normal speech we would say Nasiyadining. Okay, that's more common. Nasiyadining. 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 So again, we have our apostrophe, the possessive adjective his or her, and then we have ason, and ason is the ear or the ears. Okay, so ason, the ear or the ears. So nason is his or her ears, okay, or ear. And then you have ye, which is your to be verb, is. Okay, is, to be verb, is. And then we have ding. Ding, okay, and ding means hard. Okay, so something that is hard, physically hard. Okay, so in all, Nasiyadining or Nasiyadining means his ear or ears is or are hard. Okay, we don't have like a distinction between the plural and singular when it comes to body parts. Okay, so ason is ason for singular and for plural. Okay, so Nasiyadining literally means his or her ears are hard, or his or her ear is hard. Okay, but figuratively this means that he or she is stubborn. Okay, someone who is very stubborn, who refuses counsel. He or she would never listen. Okay, we say Nasiyadining. Nasiyadining. Okay, he or she would never listen to any advice. Nasiyadining, very stubborn. Okay, Nasiyadining. 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 Okay, so to some usage examples, and we have ya asiyadining. Ya asiyadining. Ya asiyadining. Okay, ya asiyadining. And for the second example, we have mmofra no asiyadining. Mmofra no asiyadining. Mmofra no asiyadining. Mmofra no asiyadining. Okay, and the last example we have wasiyadining dodo. Wasiyadining dodo. Wasiyadining dodo. Wasiyadining dodo. Okay, let's move to the next idiom, and we have Nesawori. 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 Nesawori or Nesawa. Nesawa. So wa is the short form of worry. Okay, so we just deleted the suffix re, right? And we have wa, which is the same thing. So Nesawa. 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 So again, we have ne, his or her, okay, and then we have nsa. Nsa is the hand, okay, nsa, the hand, and then we have worry. Worry or wa, okay, wa, which means long, okay, long by way of length, long, okay. So Nesawori or Nesawa literally means his or her hand is long. Okay, his or her hand is long, so he or she has a long hand. Okay, and this is your literal meaning, but figuratively this means he or she is a thief. Okay, he or she is a thief. And I hope you remember the idiom we had in a past episode of, someone being a thief. Do you remember? All right, so for that one we had nensa hano. Nensa hano. You remember? Nensa hano. His or her hand worries him or her. And that meant he or she is a thief, just like this one. Okay, so this one is nensa wa or nensa wari. His or her hand is long. Okay, and this also means he or she is a thief. Okay, to the usage examples, and we have wonsa wari. Wonsa wari. Wonsa wari, or more commonly wonsa wa. Okay, wonsa wa. Wonsa wa. Wonsa wa. And then we have kofi nsa wari. Kofi nsa wari. Kofi nsa wari. Kofi nsa wari, or kofi nsa wa. Kofi nsa wa. Kofi nsa wa. Okay, kofi nsa wa. And for the last one we have okristoni a nensa wari. Okristoni a nensa wari. Okristoni a nensa wari, or okristoni a nensa wa. Okristoni a nensa wa. Okristoni a nensa wa. Okristoni a nensa wa. Okay, let's move to the next idiom, and we have watoto neni awe. Watoto neni awe. Watoto neni awe. Watoto neni awe. Okay, watoto neni awe. So we have the W that begins watoto. Okay, the W that begins watoto. And in our past episodes, we said this W or this W is the third person singular subject pronoun he or she when it is used with a verb in its perfect form. Okay, its perfect aspect form. So W or W here is he or she. Okay, and then we have the A. So the A that comes between the W, the W, and toto. And that is your perfect aspect marker, which roughly translates as has or have, to express a complete action. Okay, and then we have toto. And toto means to roast. Okay, to roast. So what you do when you're doing the barbecue, right? When you put the meats on, yeah. So toto, to roast. And then we have the n apostrophe, his or her, the possessive adjective. And then we have any again, the eye or the eyes. Okay, any. So neni is his or her eyes. Okay, or his or her eye. Okay, and then we have re. 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 And re means to chew. Okay, to chew. So I can say, for example, mere nam. Okay, mere nam. Mere nam. So re means to chew, And the a that comes before we is your perfect aspect marker again. So has chewed or have chewed, meaning the chewing is complete. Okay, so in all, literally, watoto neni awe would mean he or she has roasted his or her eyes and chewed it. Okay, so he or she has roasted his or her own eyes and eaten it or chewed it. That's your literal meaning. Okay, but this figuratively means that he or she is not shy of anything. Okay, he or she is shameless. He is not shy of anything because his or her eyes have been roasted and eaten by him or her. It's gone. Okay, if he had eyes, then he would be shy, but he has eaten it himself. Okay, let's look at some usage examples. And we have watoto weni awe. Watoto weni awe. Watoto weni awe. Okay, watoto weni awe. And for the second example, we have kwabna atoto neni awe. Kwabna atoto neni awe. Kwabna atoto neni awe. Kwabna atoto neni awe. And for the last usage example, we have watoto won eni awe. Watoto won eni awe. Watoto won eni awe. Watoto won eni awe. All right, let's move to our next idiom. And if you recall from one of our past episodes, there was an idiom that referred to someone who could not keep secrets. You remember, right? So there was an idiom that we used to refer to people who cannot keep secrets. Do you remember? Can you pause here and put it in the comment section below? Yeah, no cheating. Yeah, so that idiom was nano ye tro. Nano ye tro, or nano tro. If you remember, his or her mouth is slippery. Okay, so it's so slippery that he or she can't hold any information in there. It has to go out. Okay, now the next idiom that we are looking at in this episode is the complete opposite of that. So nano yetro or nano otro is he or she can't keep secrets, and the next idiom in this episode is nano yedru. Nano yedru. Nano yedru. Okay, nano yedru, which in normal speech we tend to say nano dru. Nano dru. Nano dru. Okay, nano dru. And we can also use the short form of dru, which is do. Do. So we get nano yedu. Nano yedu. Nano yedu. Or nano du. Nano du. Nano du. Okay, so again we have the n apostrophe, his or her, the possessive adjective, and then we have ano, the mouth. Okay, the mouth. So nano, his or her mouth, and then we have ye, and ye is the to be verb, is. Okay, the to be verb, and then we have drew, drew, or the short form do, which means heavy. Okay, heavy. So in all, nano yedru or nano drew literally means his or her mouth is heavy. Okay, his or her mouth is heavy. That's the literal meaning. But figuratively, this means that he or she is tight-lipped. Okay, he or she can keep secrets. So when you tell him or her something, you can trust him or her to keep it as a secret and not tell anybody. Okay, so nanu odru or nanu yedru, he or she can keep secrets. Okay, to the usage examples, and we have Kofi anu odru. Kofi anu odru. Kofi anu odru. Kofi anu odru. Okay, Kofi anu odru or Kofi anu yedru. Kofi anu yedru. Kofi anu yedru. Okay, Kofi anu yedru. And for the second example, we have Wanu odru. Wanu odru. Wanu odru. Wanu odru. Wanu odru. Okay, and then for the last example, we have Ya anu odru. 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 Okay, now to the last idiom for this episode, and we have Aconecrapa. 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 Okay, Aconecrapa. So we have the O that begins oko, and this O is from ono. Okay, ono, and ono is he or she, the subject pronoun. Okay, ono. And then we have ko, and ko means to go. Okay, ko, to go. And then we have ne, again the possessive adjective his or her. Okay, and then we have kra. Okay, kra, and kra is from okra. Okay, so the full word is okra, and okra is the soul. Okay, so the soul is okra. So nekra is his or her soul. Okay, and then we have echi. Echi, and echi is the back. Okay, the back or behind. All right. So Aconecrapa literally means he or she has gone behind his or her soul. Okay, so he or she has gone to the back of his or her soul, and that is the literal meaning. But figuratively, this means that he or she has died. Okay, he or she has died. He or she has passed away. Okay, so let's look at the usage examples, and we have Osei Aconecrapa. Osei Aconecrapa. Osei Aconecrapa. Osei Aconecrapa. And for the second example, we have Woko won kra echi. Woko won kra echi. Woko won kra echi. Woko won kra echi. And for the last usage example, we have Ohima no ko ne kra echi. Ohima no ko ne kra echi. Ohima no ko ne kra echi. Ohima no ko nekra echi. Alright, so this is where we end this week's episode. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next week.